If I were to take my business and start all over again, what things would I change? Are you planning on going full-time with your business? Are you afraid to take the leap? Is there something stopping you? Do you have a plan, but you don't know how to put that into fruition? I want to talk to you about 5 things if I were to start my business over today that I would have done differently. 5 things I've learned over the years. Would I fail? Was it too big of a risk? I have children, I have a wife, I have a home. Maybe I should just stick with my day job. I had illnesses in my house. My son was born with many issues. He's special needs. I thought the best thing for me would be if I could work for myself and be able to have time for my family, to be able to visit the doctors, to be able to go to the hospital to see them. And I was forced to take the leap. I grew up as a woodworker. I grew up in my dad's shop, learning carpentry from him in a custom cabinet shop out in Denver. When I moved to Boston, I started working for another cabinet shop. I found myself in a place where I needed to either make more money and I was losing my job, and I either had to go start a business or go work for somebody else. And that's when I was forced to take my leap. Are you able to take your leap? That's the question. And if you are on the verge of doing it, I want to give you confidence to jump and go, because there are 5 things that I want to talk to you about in this video that I would have done maybe differently, or at least considered. Number 1, first off, I would have started sooner. How would I have started sooner? I would have invested more time in ways I could market, expose my company. I would have gotten LLC as soon as possible. I would have tried to expose my brand. I would try to let people know I'm out there. And how would I have done that? I would have done a lot of research on how to properly market myself, how to market my brand, how to market my company. I would have spent a lot of time researching, Googling, looking at websites, watching YouTube videos on how I can market my company, that my product or myself can be exposed to other people out there. And there are ways to do that. And I found them. It just took me a long time to find them because I didn't sit down and do the research when I already had the ambition or the drive to go out and start my company. I wish I had already known this information. Maybe you're out there thinking, I want to start a business one day, and then later I will think about how to market it. But do it now. Do some research. Get out there. You don't want to go and waste your time and you find a place to start doing some ads, and you put ads out on Facebook or on some kind of search engine, and there you find that you wasted all kinds of money on ads, and maybe you said, no, it doesn't work. Facebook doesn't work. Etsy doesn't work. Yahoo doesn't work. I went and I spent all kinds of money on ads and nobody was there. I was just wasting money on clicks, and it never worked out for you. But if you go in and you actually do some studying on these things, you will learn that the proper ad is not always what you think it is. You don't always want to go and put an ad out there for in my case, dining room tables, because I go and I spend $20 a day on ads for dining room tables. Who am I competing with? I'm competing with the big box stores. I'm competing with West Elm. I'm competing with Restoration Hardware. I'm never going to win that battle. I'm a little guy fighting a huge war when it comes to words like that. But if you really want to go after good ads, you need to go for your niche. What is it you're exactly selling? Yeah, maybe you're selling a dining room table, or maybe you're selling jewelry boxes. But you're competing against everybody else selling jewelry boxes or beds. So what you need to do is hone in on exactly what you are selling. I'm selling custom handmade dining room tables, live edge tables. I'm selling handmade custom furniture. I'm selling handmade custom chairs. I'm selling handmade custom walnut dining room sets. You know, you have to think outside of the box. You have to think of words that Restoration Hardware is not allowed to use. The thing that other people will be searching for you and not for Restoration Hardware. That is the key when it comes to ads. You can waste tons of money on ads if you're doing them poorly, if you word them improperly, and you will fail immediately. But if you do the research and you find the right wording for your niche, you can have immediate success. And as soon as I found this key, I immediately had success. Another way I was marketing myself is I was going to local markets. I would go find places in downtown Boston where I could set up a little stand and I could have little knickknacks, little charcuterie boards, little cheese boards, wine holders, different things I was set out on my table. But then I went and I made a bunch of binders of tables that I had previously built and was offering that as my actual product. I wasn't just selling cheese boards. I was trying to reach a bigger market, but I couldn't go to a small local market with 10 dining room tables. It was impossible, and plus they wouldn't let me. They would think I was crazy. So the only way I could manipulate the situation was by bringing these binders. And people will come and see my cool little knickknacks, and then they would look in my binders. And I started selling tables that way. I even found a client this way that had a really high-end restaurant. One of my first projects at Lighthouse was 60 tables for a really high-end restaurant. That was through a local market. You can also go to home shows, trade shows, different types of things, set up booths, and try to reach out to people that way. One show that we used to go to a lot was the Home and Garden Show, and there people are walking through those shows trying to find new ideas when they're remodeling their house, different companies to work for, different faucets, different lumber, different tile, different ways for them to get ideas for their house. And then they walk past your booth and find, oh, I didn't know I could get a custom table like this, or I didn't know that I could do tile this way. Whatever your niche is, maybe you are opening their mind to something they never thought they could have. Another tool that I ended up using that I wish I started at the very beginning of my business was cheese and wine parties for designers. I started cold calling all the designers in my local area. I tried to befriend them, try to get them to come to my showroom, and I wanted them to see that I'm offering a product that would be great for their clients. A lot of these designers have really high-end homes that they're working in, and why not get a custom piece of furniture, a custom table for that high-end home? So come check out my showroom, and then you'll see that everything that I'm offering is perfect for you. How did I reel them in? I was throwing wine and cheese parties for designers. I'd do it in my showroom, invite a bunch of designers over. Few of them started showing up, then later on more started showing up, and before you knew it, I had a bunch of designers who had come through my shop, come through my showroom to see all my custom work. They started calling me later when they had a client. Lucas, this client really wants a live edge walnut dining table, but nobody's selling it at this size. Can you do it? Of course. Bam, I started making sales that way too. And finally, the last way I wish I marketed better was through social media. And that gets me to my second point. Social media is something I wish I started sooner. I wish I started social media at the beginning very seriously. From day one, I had my accounts. I had my Instagram, I had my Facebook, I had my YouTube, and but I wasn't taking it seriously because I was thinking that social media is for the content creator. Social media is for people who want to show off themselves. I am a business. I am a brand. I'm not looking to influence anybody. I am just trying to sell my product. And I didn't realize the full potential for my business behind social media. The way I could reach these designers, simply DM them. They could just look at my page and see my entire portfolio of everything I ever built and said, these guys do awesome work. And then they start reaching out to me saying, hey, Lucas, I need a table. Oh, I had designers reaching out to me left and right as soon as I started taking social media seriously. Social media to me was just a place to show off my work. And I didn't realize that I was going to be able to bring in clients that way. And if I took it seriously from the beginning, if I made a plan for my social media game, I could have been way more successful sooner. Even now, I'm getting pretty late to the game when it comes to YouTube, but I see the potential here and I'm going. Just being vulnerable, throwing myself and saying, hey, this may help my business. How do you want to take social media seriously? First, make a plan. How are you going to do this? What is it you're going to be selling? What is it you're going to be showing? How often are you going to be showing it? How often can you show it? Be consistent with what you decide. This is the way you have to play the game of the algorithms. Be consistent. You can't just post once a week a photo and expect people to start seeing it. You have to stay consistent. You have to get creative. You have to make new videos, new ideas, new things to grow your community. Another thing that you want to do with your social media is to build a community around you. If not build one, join one and be part of a woodworking community, or be part of a welding community. Be part of some kind of community that you can start growing yourself, make friends, and then you start growing that and you see how other people start joining you. People start entering into your community and you get designers and other people, clients, families, homes. They start commenting on your page, and shortly after they say, when I buy a home, I'm going to reach out to this guy. And they keep commenting, they keep following along with your journey, with all the products that you're making, all the builds, everything you've done. And then when it comes time for them, they're scrolling through social media and they say, oh yeah, let's go talk to this guy now about my table. Social media is a great tool that I wish I had started sooner on my journey. Number 3, the third thing that I think is really important that I would have done differently when I started my business was to focus on one niche. It makes it very difficult when you are going around building tables, then building chairs, then offering a bed, then offering a dresser, then offering mudrooms, offering built-ins. It makes it impossible to scale a business like this. Also makes it really hard to learn your pricing scheme, how you're going to work all that out. For me, what made sense the most was when I decided, no, I'm only building tables. That way, it made it possible for me to market one product. I didn't have to spend a lot of money on ads for different types of products. I just niched down on one thing and I spent all my money on that one thing. All of my ad revenue was going towards that one thing, and then just scaled that. Plus, when I started getting in multiple projects a week and I was building 3-4 tables a week, I could do it because I was set up to build one product. I didn't have to have a shop that could handle custom kitchens and dining room tables and pieces of furniture. I just had a shop for one product, and my employees learned how to build them, and then we could finally start pumping things out. We didn't throw a wrench at any of the gears because they were all running smoothly because everybody was working on one niche, on one product. So niche down, figure out what product you want to go with and hit that hard. Number 4, the fourth thing I would redo if I could was to believe in myself. I always had doubts that I will not succeed. I always had doubts that I'm a small fish in a big pond. There's plenty to go around. No matter how much competition there is in your niche, it's obviously better to find a niche that has less competition. But no matter how much competition there is always plenty to go around. So I wish I believed in myself more. I wish I believed in my passion, that people are going to buy me. Me educating them is what sold them. That I knew what I was talking about, that I knew what I was doing. They saw the love that I had behind my company, behind my hands, behind my work, and that's what sold them to choosing me over another company. Another thing is to not be afraid to charge your worth. I've talked to so many people and they don't know how to charge for their products because they're too afraid that the client won't buy because they're pricing too high. Don't be afraid to charge your worth. Even if your experience is little, you're offering a product that is needed and wanted, and you are able to provide it when many homeowners out there are not willing to do it themselves. They will be paying people like you to do it for them. Especially if you're offering a higher end product, higher end woods, higher end materials, it is justified. So number 4, trust yourself. You'll get there. Don't doubt. You'll be able to succeed if you continue to have confidence in your ability. And the 5th thing is not necessarily something that I wish I would change about the way I ran my business or the way my business started. But the 5th thing is just a tip for you guys. Not everybody is cut out to run a business. I always say there's 2 types of people in this world. First guy is willing to jump off the ledge when he comes to the cliff, and the second guy just isn't. You have to be able to admit to yourself if you are guy 1 or guy 2. A lot of times people message me, Lucas, how did you go full time? I've been in my shop for so many years, working in my garage, but also have my day job. And I asked them the question, how are your benefits? How are things going at your job? The response is, it's good. I have a good salary. I have good benefits. Okay, are you willing to lose those? Well, maybe if I can get enough money being made at my wood shop and then I could roll the ball over smoothly. No, it's never going to happen that way. You can't have two balls and two different courts. You have to focus on your business if you want it to work. And maybe you're not willing to let that happen. Are you willing to struggle for a while before your dream comes true? Are you willing to struggle while you're figuring out all this situation with your ads and how to get tools for your shop and reinvesting in your company and not really making much profit because you need new tools, because you need to spend money on ads, and right now you just don't have that much profit to have all this overhead, and yet you have to pay your salary at the same time, and you have to get to a point where they meet each other, and that's going to take some time. But are you willing to go through that struggle? When I started, I was in a situation where I was losing my job and I was either going to find another job or start my business. It was just kind of there. I didn't have time to think much about it. I either was doing it or not because I was losing my job. And I had to go tomorrow and either start a new job or start my business. And I decided, heck, I'll try to start my own company. And I went ham on trying to figure out how I was going to make this work. But I went quite a while with no money. I was on unemployment for a very long time. I was living in a very small apartment. I had 2 kids at home, but I had to make it work to get to the point where I am today, where I'm happy with my business. Yeah, I'm not a millionaire, but I love my life. I love that I'm able to be home with my kids when I need to because I am my own boss. I love that I have employees who are able to cover for me when I can't be there, when my children are in the hospital or somebody's sick. I love that I'm able to have that freedom. And I also love that I can just walk into my own shop every day and see that this is my accomplishment. I'm not working for anybody else. I'm not working for any man. I am working for myself, and everything around me is success of my goals. And I don't know if that's something you're willing to suffer for, but eventually you will get there. If you stay focused, if you take these 5 things that I told you and you implement them well, I guarantee you in 5 years, you can be exactly where I am with 10 employees, doing multiple tables a week, able to enjoy your life while you enjoy what you do. Get out there and crush it. If you need any advice on this topic, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. Cheers.